Impossible. I don't think I'll ever do this again. Shout out to Entertainment Daily, bro. 10 out of 10 content, bro. What's going on YouTube? Before I start the video, I just want to say original link to the video will be in the description. Entertainment Daily. But today, Try Not To Cringe 29. I haven't watched any of them. I'm kind of skipping. I think after this, I'm gonna start watching them in order. But I'm gonna try my absolute hardest in this, like 100%. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm trying to straight face it. I'm gonna try.
Closing time. Get up, please.
It's not a try not to laugh. It's a try not to cringe.
Do you ever feel like having that much power on your show has led to you being a little unprofessional? Because power can corrupt. Power can lead one. I know because this show's called Conan, and I'm a raving lunatic all day long.
No.
So I know that having a show named after you can lead to evil behavior.
You know, I think the temptation is there.
The temptation.
And I have succumbed to that temptation. We've had a lot of handsome actors on the show, and I am a professional. Like,
sure.
I can be around handsome guys and not. I can behave like a lady.
Thanks for including us with your hand.
Yes.
On
Yeah.
handsome guys.
And but we had this one actor on the show named Lee Pace, who's very.
Do you think you brought a picture? There he is. That's a
He's
good
a good-looking guy.
That's a very good-looking guy. Yeah.
Yuck.
Nice try,
and
Andy.
a real gentleman.
Yeah.
Real gentleman. He came on the show, and we had to do this flashback sequence where we were in bed together in college. And we're just supposed to be having a conversation, but like he's so tall and he's so handsome that in the middle of it, he was just supposed to be like, "What do you think, Mindy?" And I was like, and I looked around, and I improvised just kissing him in the scene, which was not in the script.
It's not that. See, you just went for it. You just started kissing that guy. That picture. Yeah.
He was just looming. He was looming above me.
Yeah.
And he asked me a question. I was not listening to him at all, because who cares what he was saying? And I was just like, And then he reacted like that, and I pretended it didn't happen. And then I walked backstage. We have two writer-producers, Ike Barinholtz.
Bro, if a guy did this,
like,
bro.
Hey man, what are you doing? You could be sued for that. And I got very scared, and then I said, tell anyone and you're fired.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he might have been like, did it happen or did it not? So I just didn't
Wow.
need our side to confirm it or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Bruh,
that's
if
going
a
to be
guy
happening a lot
did
more
this-
now too, because you got away with it.
And I'm pretty sure.
I'm the kissing bandit. Listen, it's like, he didn't complain about it. It's fine. No one said anything. No one reported anything.
Right. And now you're talking about it on a TV show.
You need to kiss him before you let him have the job, and then like, well, we got to check it out, see if we have chemistry, and then make out with him, then give him the job. It's old school.
Andy's basically telling you how he got this job.
Yeah. Right.
That's how I run things around here. Sidekick, eh? Pucker up, pal.
Coach Nat, rather than communicate by Zoom, to come down on the stage and demonstrate to everyone what you're able to do at these clinics.
Hello and thank you, Adam.
Holy cow. I mean, we'd heard a lot about him during the pandemic, but I'd never stood next to him.
My role is to help coach, train, develop the next generation of NBA talent. I know all the best moves and am untethered by one single dimension. I can even make a free throw.
Before you leave, anything else you can do that you want to show the audience?
I can even be the real Superman.
See you, my friend. I guess the first question that I have
I lost.
is, you pled guilty, Anthony, to sending obscene materials to a young girl, a 15-year-old girl. You pled guilty, you served jail time. Have you changed? Are you a different person?
Well, I think so. I don't think anyone can go through that kind of experience, and I think this is probably true of people who have been through other types of adversity. I don't think you go through that type of experience and don't emerge changed.
Wait, Anthony, wait a minute.
So I think it's fairly obvious.
That's an obscure answer.
Sorry for my dogs,
so.
y'all.
Either you know in your heart if you changed, or you know in your heart if you didn't change. Can you assure people, because you're going to now try and draw in an audience, and they're going to want to know if you changed or not. Have you changed?
They can judge for themselves.
I'm sorry?
I said they can judge for themselves. I'm not out to persuade you or anyone else that I've changed. I mean, I'm doing a radio show, and people can call in and ask me questions. We did one this past Saturday where people had an opportunity to call in and were courteous to ask me a bunch of questions, and I asked and answered the best I can. But in terms of, like, I'm trying to draw someone in, no, I'm not trying to make someone like me or someone be persuaded of any particular outlook on me. We're going to have some conversations about things going on in New York City and other places, and hopefully people will tune into the show, but I'm not terribly interested in trying to make them feel any differently about me.
Then, at a certain point, really what you're doing is capital allocation. So you're not, it's not money for personal expenditures, what you're doing is capital allocation. And it does not make sense to take the job of capital allocation away from people who have demonstrated great skill in capital allocation and give it to an entity that has demonstrated very poor skill in capital allocation, which is the government. You can think of the government essentially as a corporation in the limit. The government is simply the biggest corporation with a monopoly on violence, and where you have no recourse. So how much money do you want to give that entity?
It is the
I fuck with Elon Musk.
folks and
I fuck with Elon Musk.
that all have to engage
Hold on, Ohio.
folks and perhaps the police department that all have
Ice
to
fishing.
fire and EMS folks and perhaps the police department that all have to engage on a moment's notice should there be an incident. Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem. Prostitution. And now you got the police chief and the police department involved. Just data points to consider.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
I don't know how anybody can, how do you pass these, bro? Try Not To Cringe is impossible, bro. Try Not To Cringe is impossible. I'm telling you, bro.
Time on this. What you don't want to do is you don't want to spend a lot of times on 99 designs, because in my second contest, which is this book cover, let me show you here. This is a minister. Ministers are known for loving horrendous design. I mean, if you're a really bad designer, then you should go after preachers and stuff because they love bad design. So he did not like this design. He actually picked something with some scribbles on it. So, I mean, just because you're the best designer doesn't mean that you're going to get picked. The other design I want to mention, this is the worst contest that I've ever entered. And after entering a few contests, I realized that you can't enter a contest with a whole bunch of people
December
or
2nd,
ones that have a lot of prize money
2015.
because you're competing with 250 to 450 people. And even though you're the better designer or your designs are better than theirs, the fact that there's so many designs in there and the fact that you don't know the client, their clients are notorious for, they write down a description of what they want, but they're notorious for picking the exact opposite or something that's totally not even in the description, which it's kind of crazy. And it's the same thing with like contests on DeviantArt. They do the same thing. It's really frustrating because they give you a set of guidelines, but yet they pick a winner that has nothing to do with those guidelines.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
It's really
Try not
frustrating.
to
It happens
cringe.
over and over
How
again.
could anybody
So you want to stick
pass this?
to the cheaper designs, the ones that where no one really wants to enter, like the $100, $200 ones.
Like,
and I had more success.
She talking
So I
about
entered
nonsense.
5
How could you
contests.
not
I made
cringe
the
at this,
mistake
bro?
of
I can't do these.
2 contests that were just not obtainable. And then so I came.
These are
across the Fit
impossible.
CEO.
I might have to stop
Now,
doing these, bro.
The other thing that I learned is that you want to submit your design at the very last minute because people will hate on you and they'll report you. I had some Indian fucker offshore, and I can't stand them. Like they're stealing our jobs, and it's really frustrating to have to sit there and as a designer and compete with these people. And they think they should get paid the same as the Americans, but their rent's not $1,100. Their car payment's not $400. They can sustain off of $20 a month. So I mean, US dollars a month. So I mean, it's really not fair, you know, because the way that shit is set up, it's set up for Americans to fail. So that, my friend, was very upsetting. Now, this person kept reporting my design, and because clients are notorious for reporting.
How can you not cringe at this shit, bro?
Going with the opposite of what they want. I did a few different ones. And yes, I name my files weird things like African Child and Kumquats. It helps me remember which version of the file I'm on. So, and Kumquats just happens to be the most hilarious word. I don't know. It should be a cuss word if you ask me. But this is like the African Child. Okay. And yeah, and this one is haha. And this one, actually no. It's, let's see which one. This one, yeah. So I did this one. This is 11111.
What the fuck happened to everybody? Now, yeah, I mean, it's tough to find anybody that's got a weenie more than 1 centimeter long. I was watching, I mean, these guys, we were in Starbucks. No, went in one of those places this morning. I looked at these kids. I almost was going to jump up and go, ah! And all shit their pants. Literally. The one guy that kept on looking at his hair going like this, and he had a mirror in his phone. I never saw that before. You have a mirror. And he's going, I just wanted to go up and just hit him in the head. Girls, what happened? A stiff drink and a good fucking killed, 70% of the guys that I've met so far here.
Impossible. I don't think I'll ever do this again. Shout out to Entertainment Daily, bro. 10 out of 10 content, bro. But like you defeat me to the max. I can't, bro. Like this is impossible for me. Like I probably shouldn't be doing these.